Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to today's Ironsight video. In today's video, we're going to do a tips and tricks for new players. I know I get a lot of these and it's really difficult to actually do any of these because I don't feel as though this game is too complicated really. It's not that difficult to start practicing and to do things. There's not that many insane techniques. So going over the basics, for a brand new player, they removed the premium DLC thing and they just made it a default on everybody, so you no longer need to go to Steam to grab it. So the number one main tip as a new player that I would give you guys is just use the K2C. Use the K2C. It's probably the most underrated weapon. In my opinion, it is an S tier weapon. It's probably one of the most goated weapons that you wouldn't really think of, right? So yeah, just use it. It's amazing. Doesn't matter what skin you have. It really doesn't. Just use it, and then you can go ahead and absolutely start stacking up your gold. The weapons in this game, the base weapons do cost a decent amount. I'm gonna see if I don't have a base weapon over here. Yeah, $20,000 for the base no skin weapon and $40,000 if you want one of these you know, super common skins. So just use the K2C. You're gonna save yourself tons of funds, and you're gonna be able to actually get good at the game. You're gonna be able to, you know, decide whether or not you should take gunfights at range or how recoil works in this game. And just using the K2C is going to be probably the best advice I would give you. In fact, I'm probably going to start grinding it out to level 100 just to get the nebula, just for the heck of it. One cool thing about it is because it is one, the starter weapon, and two, it's one of, I think Korea's Korean's army service weapon. It's probably not gonna ever get nerfed. It's not really ever gonna get touched. And from what I heard in competitive, like for the people that do Ironsight competitively, this is probably their sleeper weapon. If the AUG gets nerfed into oblivion, which it has not yet, but yeah, this is the next runner-up. It's such a great weapon. Has a decent recoil control, so you'll be able to you know, figure out how recoil works and work with it. I do recommend, however, getting out of the holographic sight and using a different reticle. My preferred reticle is the clear sight. If you can use the default one or not. It's a little slanted to the back, but it doesn't look that slanted when you're looking at it in game. So yeah, another good one is the quick shot sight. One thing about the quick shot sight, it does aim down sights faster, plus it has a 1.5x zoom, so that's pretty amazing. The next big tip is how to set up your weapons. In Ironsight, there's really not too many attachments currently that really help adjust the performance of the weapon. So the main thing, if you don't really like the iron sights, I would recommend using a sight, like I said, the quick shot. Definitely change the reticle to whatever is your preference. If you like the big dot, leave the big dot. That's totally fine. You can do the small dot as well. It really doesn't affect you. As long as you're shooting for the middle of that reticle, you're gonna be fine. Sometimes I prefer the big dot. You do get 2 attachment slots, so you can only have one sight at a time, and there are a few tuning options, which these options right here only affect your recoil as well as your range in certain ways. The compensator and muzzle brake affect recoil. You're going to want to read which one does what. Tells you right here in the beginning, and you're going to want to choose which one you feel you are lacking in that certain weapon. Modified rifling and precision barrel do not straight up tell you what they do. It just says increased effective range. However, a good rule of thumb is modified rifling. If you want to do your highest damage a little bit farther out, you use this one. And I really do use modified rifling with SMGs a lot more than assault rifles, and I use precision barrel with assault rifles a lot more, because precision barrel lets you do maximum damage from farther out, if that makes sense. It does your minimum damage a little bit farther out, so you'll be doing little more than minimum damage a little farther out. But again, you can always mix and match to see which one is your preference. Again, the way I've done it is precision barrel for assault rifles that are medium. If they have a fast drop off, then the modified rifling. So in weapon attachments, you have a bunch of sights, as well as the laser sight, which does increase hipfire accuracy. I don't think you need it on assault rifles. Hipfire is already amazing. Could be useful on some submachine guns, absolutely god mode on some submachine guns, but you know, it's up to you if you like hip firing. And last and not least, everyone's favorite, the silencer. The silencer reduces your noise, hides the location when firing, and something it doesn't tell you, which I mean it does in every game, it reduces your muzzle flash. So you'll actually be able to see people a little bit clearer. That way you'll be able to hit people, like just keep on target more, because if you have a bunch of muzzle flash in any game, really, you're gonna have a hard time seeing people. It does reduce your effective range by 1, so all your range stats go in. Not too sure what the -1 is, but it's not really anything too big, since the AUG was nerfed, and that was only like a 4-meter nerf for 10 points. General rule of thumb, suppressor, silencer, pretty amazing. You kind of want to try to use it as much as you can, unless you feel that your gun is not performing as you want it to, then I'd go with the barrel. Right, class setups. Realistically, if you're getting an assault rifle, you can use anything for your secondary. I just have this because it looks cool. It doesn't really matter. All the pistols are insane. Desert Eagle is more of a skill cannon because it shoots a lot slower. However, you can get those one-shot headshots pretty crispy. Or if you're spamming, you go with like something like the M9A3, which has 15 rounds. And yeah, you can pretty much spray hip fire this thing to oblivion. Shotguns are also pretty good if you have an assault rifle. If you feel like someone's getting too close, or if you hear someone getting too close, you just go ahead and pull out your shotgun, and you can one-shot them pretty easily. I do recommend aiming down sights for most of them, unless they are completely inside your shotgun reticle. Melee, really, there's small differences. The bigger ones do have a little slightly longer range from what I remember, but are very slow to actually do their attacks, whereas something like the butterfly knife or the karambit is faster, however has less range. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't really worry too much. I'd just pick whichever one you enjoy looking at best, and yeah, you should be pretty all right. Lethals is very difficult. Again, it is up to personal preference. However, if you do want the most competitive option, you are going to want to choose explosive knife. It goes straight, it goes far, it goes fast, and really it's just probably the best one out there, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's no reason to not use it other than going for challenges, or if you want to go ahead and just hit some cheeky little sticky grenade or frag grenade, like little curves, because these ones curve, and the explosive knife goes pretty much straight. This does have the same range as the other grenades, so that's why it's also pretty OP, and it can stick to walls and people. Tacticals, it's again personal choice. I personally always go syringe, just to be able to heal 50% of your health, and I think it's like a 2.5 second use time, something like that. There's a cooldown, however this does come back, whereas something like a flash grenade would not ever come back. However, flash grenade, you can throw it and literally just flash your entire the entire room, even if they're not looking at them. Decoy grenades I would stay away from. They could be kind of cool if you throw a decoy nade in one corner, here on the other corner, but pretty easy to tell when it's a decoy nade. So yeah. EMP grenades, I haven't really seen too many use of these, and yeah, they're kind of just throwing them at drones, so yeah. Smoke grenades are pretty good for objective play, and yeah, nothing much else about that. It really is, like I said, up to personal preference, so that way you can go ahead and see which one works best for you. You can go run around and see which one works best for you. Lastly, character really doesn't matter. You can make the bulkiest character, you'll have the same hitbox as every other character. Some characters, like the robot, however, do have different footstep noises because they are robots. So, you know, depending on how you're playing, they could be a little harder to hear, they could not be, but I would say save your GP. Like I said, use the K2C, and if you want a robot, buy a female character. That's what the K2C is for. Try to get this to level 100 if you want. You'll notice how good you can do. Lastly is the skills. Pretty important stuff. However, there's a very set meta of what is the best. The best two that are kind of, if you want to be super competitive, you want quick reload or double time. No matter what, pretty much double time, however, is the #1 perk you should kind of have at all times. Feather steps is kind of cool, however, if you have double time on, you can aim down sights, walk 50% faster, and you'll make 0 noise. If you're going to be running the flag a lot, you can obviously hit marathon. Of course, this is a niche situation, but double time would work for 90% of your encounters. The first slot, pretty good choices, honestly. You have quick reload, which is 30% faster. Pretty amazing perk. Nimble hands is what another one that competitive people use, just because you can plant and defuse the bomb, and you can throw your stuff 50% faster. So yeah, pretty awesome. And quick switch, a lot useful for snipers, for switching out of your sniper and coming back rather than rechambering. The last perk really is up to you. There's so many things that you can use. Some of the biggest competitive advantages are long ears, blast protection, and stealth. Stealth is the newest perk. Keeps you off the UAV and heat sensitive scopes, so like a thermal or the detecting sight. Blast protection is pretty good, reduces incoming explosion damage by 40%. Keep in mind, 2 grenades will kill you. You will survive 1 grenade, but you do have to be a little bit farther still. If you're at like right next to you, you will die, if I remember right, and you can survive a barrel explosion, but not a barrel and a grenade. Long ears enables you to hear enemy footsteps from farther away, so it doesn't make their footsteps louder, it just lets you hear them from farther away. Assassin is a weird one where you can increase the accuracy and your range of your melee, which does involve your quick knife. Quick recovery, I don't really feel like it's that useful. I used to use it on some machine guns before the stim came out, but since the stim is out, there's not really much of a use for it, and I would prefer stealth if I'm not using blast protection or long ears. That's how you set up a class and kind of the best things to do. So yeah, we're gonna try to do this in multiple things. Anything else you guys want to know about, let me know. This is how you set up your class for success in Ironsight. See you guys.